Hi friends, I'm Dr. Shalini Malhotra. I'm a hair transplant surgeon and a dermatologist practicing in New Delhi and Gurgaon. I understand that going for hair transplant is a major decision. It is a surgery at the end of the day. Today I will tell you the important 5 questions you should ask your surgeon before taking the plunge. The first question that you should discuss with your surgeon is that am I the right candidate to go for a hair transplant? Well, your surgeon will explain to you that every candidate is not a fit candidate to go for hair transplant. To opt for a hair transplant, you should have a well-defined area of baldness irrespective of your age. For instance, you are very young, suppose you are 20 years, okay? And you go to your surgeon and you feel you are becoming bald and you tell the surgeon that I want a hair transplant. But your surgeon will assess your scalp, and if the surgeon finds that there is only thinning and there is no well-defined area of baldness, or the pattern of your baldness is still not set yet, or it is unpredictable in future course, then the surgeon will tell you to not go for hair transplant. On the contrary, if you have a well-defined area of baldness, then your surgeon will immediately tell you to go for a hair transplant. Nowadays, the pattern is that very young people are presenting with well-defined area of baldness, and though in our books it's written that if a patient is less than 20 years or 21 years, we should not consider a hair transplant, but seeing the current trends, even 18, 19 or 20 years old are having baldness. So in that scenario, if you have a well-defined area of baldness, your doctor will tell you to go for a hair transplant, and it's absolutely a correct decision to go ahead with it. If you are an elderly person, suppose you are 70 years, 75 years, and you have baldness, don't be scared to go for a hair transplant. I always tell my patients that if you are medically fit, then irrespective of your age, whether you are 70, 75 or 80 years, you can go for a hair transplant. My own father, he's 75 years of age, but he is medically fit. He had baldness and I have just done his hair transplant a month ago and he's totally fine. The second question you should ask your surgeon is, which technique are you going to do on me? So majorly there are 2 techniques of hair transplant, FUE and FUT technique. In my personal opinion, FUT technique is an older technique. In FUT technique, what happens is that a strip of skin is cut from the back of your scalp. That strip of skin is given to the assistants. Assistants take out grafts from that strip of skin and then they implant in the bald area. The area from where that strip of skin is cut, in that area stitches are given and the patient invariably ends up with a scar. Now your surgeon who's doing the FUT or the strip technique may tell you that the scar will be invisible, the scar will be very fine, but please understand, a longitudinal scar, whether thick, whether thin, whether beautiful, whether gross, is a scar at the end of the day. Why do you want to go for that? Nowadays, an advanced technique of FUE is available where we simply pluck out or punch out grafts from the back of your scalp using fine punches. We do not give any stitches there. So just imagine you are punching out grafts from the back. Small holes may be there. Whenever the graft is punched out, on the day of surgery you can appreciate it well. These holes, they heal within a week's time. The skin after a week becomes totally smooth. The surrounding hair at the donor area, they grow and the area gets totally covered up. No stitches are given, no sutures are given, and there are no longitudinal scars. Also, understandably, since FUT or the strip technique is an invasive technique, chances of pain, complications, bleeding is definitely much more compared to the FUE technique. The full form of FUE technique is follicular unit excision technique. However, at the end of the day, I leave the choice to you. You should do your research properly. You should read about both the techniques. My advice to you to go for an FUE technique is my personal advice. But at the end of the day, you have to take your own decision, use your intellect, and then decide which technique you should opt for. The third question, and a very important question you need to ask your surgeon, is that who will do my hair transplant? In most of the clinics, technicians end up doing the transplant and you hardly see your doctor in the OT. Now that's a red flag. You should be very careful and you should clarify with the doctor that when you go for a hair transplant, the doctor should do the transplant or the doctor should do the major chunk of your transplant, and definitely please ensure that the doctor is around the whole surgery. The doctor does not disappear and you're not left in the hands of unqualified staff or technicians. That is very important. Now, when you are sure that the doctor will do your transplant, you should also find out what is the qualification of the doctor. There are many fraudulent doctors who will end up doing your surgery, but their qualification and experience is not sufficient for them to do your hair transplant. So, you should keep in your mind what is the qualification of the surgeon. So, whether a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon or not. In my recommendation, a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon should be allowed to do a hair transplant because a dermatologist and a plastic surgeon have thorough knowledge about the anatomy of the skin, the nerve supply of the brain. Everything related to hair transplant is studied in depth by these two streams, including the full anatomy of the hair follicle, which other streams do not read. So whether your surgeon is a dermatologist and a plastic surgeon or not, that is very important. Secondly, what is the number of years of experience? I think minimum of 5 to 6 experience should be there of the surgeon to do a hair transplant safely. You should be careful that who is doing your transplant, what is the experience of the hair transplant surgeon, what is the qualification of the hair transplant surgeon. So American Board of Hair Restoration Surgery is the only certification which is given to hair transplant surgeons worldwide. At this point in time, this is what I know. There are no other certifications which are valid and recognized in a manner that an American Board certification is. So that is one criteria you can look for. Secondly, even if the person is not having an American Board certification and the person is a qualified dermatologist and a hair transplant surgeon, that is also a good criteria. And there you should see whether the doctor has done certain fellowships in hair transplant or not. Every dermatologist and every plastic surgeon may not be an expert in hair transplant. So, उनका क्या experience है? For how long they have been practicing hair transplant? What fellowships and what experiences? Or how many conferences have they attended? These things you should look for. And once you are sure that the surgeon is well qualified, please go ahead with this. Fourth question, which is very important, is planning your hair transplant. The number of grafts which you will need. How will the coverage be planned? So you divide your scalp in 3 zones. Take your 4 fingers, keep it in the front. This is zone A. Then next 4 finger area is zone B, and last is the crown or the zone C. If you go for an FUE procedure, these 3 zones should be covered in different sittings spread over a gap of 1 month each. Your each zone will need around 2500 to 3000 grafts. So your surgeon will explain how the surgeon plans to distribute these grafts in how many sittings. You should discuss this with your surgeon. In my opinion, the front area of your scalp, that is your hairline, and the front 4 fingers should be covered in a very dense way and also in a very natural way. Single root graft should be placed in the hairline to give it a very natural look. Your hairline should never be in a straight line. It should always be in a V or a U. And behind the hairline, in this area, you should have good density because your look will change when your front area is densely transplanted. So just imagine that even if you're this area, that is the crown is still bald, but if you have good hair in the front and when you look in the mirror, you see a good front and a good hairline, you will feel very good about yourself. You will feel that the transplant is a success. So front area should be done very well, and rest of the area can either be filled up with good density or with an average density to give a coverage. That you should discuss with your doctor. Your doctor will advise you accordingly. The last question which you should ask your doctor is, when will you expect your results? What kind of results should you expect? And what will be the post-operative steps or precautions you should take? Full results of hair transplant can be seen only by the 7th to the 9th month. Please be patient. It's like your baby. It takes about 9 months to grow. So early results may happen in few percentage of patients, maybe because their donor area is very robust, so they do not have the initial phase of shedding, which you see generally in the due course of hair growth after transplant. That shedding phase in the initial 2 months is absent. So in those patients, the result may be seen in maybe by the 5th month, but majority of patients, about 90% of patients, they get their full results by the end of the 7th to the 9th month only. Post-operatively, in the initial 2 weeks, you have to avoid sunlight, You have to avoid gymming, swimming, excessive sweating. You should not do yoga or bend your head forward. These are few minor precautions that you have to take in the initial 2 weeks. After that, no major precautions are needed. The initial 1 week is also very critical in terms that you have to maintain proper hygiene, sanitization. You should be very careful that you do not expose your scalp to bacteria, dust, and you take head bath every day. You do not travel in the initial 2 to 3 days post transplant in train or in bus or in a car with dirty seats, because infection can be introduced. Air travel is what I would recommend if you have to travel after hair transplant. These are certain precautions that you need to take. If you take these precautions, hair transplant is a very safe surgery. There are per se no side effects to it, and you will sail through the whole experience and the whole procedure. So these are the 5 questions that you must ask your surgeon. In case you have more queries and you have more questions or doubts, please feel free to contact me. My number and my Instagram profile and my details are given here in the video. I'm available to help you, but please don't be scared of hair transplant surgery, and in case you have baldness, do take the plunge. Thank you.